Bonjour, Nicholas. This is Barry C. Paul in California. I'm coming at you with a little video. I want to bring to you some design work that I've been told that you saw on the internet on YouTube. And according to what I hear, that you might be interested in some. So since this being the case, I thought I would come to you and show you some of my drawings on a computer here. A while back, I went to work in Los Angeles, and I stayed there for 11 months, and I had my stuff stored in a tool shed out in the backyard. And it was during the rainy season. Okay, so what happened was there was this great big tree that had a very big branch over the shed. And so what happened was either the wind or whatever happened, it just got too heavy, and the tree branch broke and crushed the shed in. So during my stay out in Los Angeles, it rained. During the time it rained, everything in the shed got wet, because I had threw away part of it. I was going to throw away the other part. So Bill came over, and he went in the backyard to see what I had, and then he asked me about the stuff on the ground. I said, "Oh, that's just stuff I'm throwing away." So he said, "No, he didn't want me to throw that away. He said that I should keep that." I said, "No, I don't want to keep this. It's no good. It's all wet and stuff." So that's what he did. He salvaged what he could. And that's why you're seeing it on YouTube right now, because Bill salvaged it and didn't let it go to waste. Now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try using this. I'm going to reproduce all these drawings again as close as I can get to the original ones, and maybe make some improvements along the way. So right here we have some of my computer thing, and I'll tell you what we got here. Now, this unit here was part of what's called an analyzer. You've seen in the laboratory where they have the chemical analyzer, where they use tubes and stuff to circulate the chemicals and combine them and, you know, mix them and stuff like that and store them and everything. That's basically what we had here. This is just a small section of it, but these tubes here, where all the chemicals came into the main chamber, were mixed in the appropriate portions. And you could type in what you wanted to go in there. All the chemical was stored in little bitty bats inside the machine and other areas, and all they did was suck it into these tubes and it would distribute the amount you want, and it would mix it. Then when it mixed the proper quarter, you could cipher out what you want into a smaller tube, and you could use like a pharmacist or a person who analyzes chemicals. It does all that. It analyzes it. It creates chemicals. It does all this stuff. So it's a chemical dream lab. You can do all the stuff you want to do, what they do now. Now I do this picture. that picture, this stuff is over 25 years old. That was when I saw this stuff in high school. These big computers with all the big reels. That's how I came up with this. I wanted to create something that was crazy but unique, and I drew this. Okay, let's go on to another one. Now this one here is basically the computer's analytical system. When you're analyzing those chemicals and all that stuff, this one is where everything shows you what you're doing. Okay, it has well, because of the technology back then, everything was kind of unusually big. Like this was here supposed to have been a transmitter that transmitted a signal like a radar thing. It sent the signals to the main systems, and then it would show up everything on the screen here. And you had a transmitter and a receiver. So any signals coming back would go into the computer and be received by the computer. Okay. Now we have every kind of unit you can think of. Basically, we had a microphone here, so you could actually talk to this thing. It had a voice recognition system in it, and it had a spectrographic analyzer. It had things that I didn't even know existed, but I didn't even say what they were. I just drew them in there, saying that what they were to me. Because I didn't know these things existed, even in the science fiction term. They were just something that people said someday this was going to happen. So I saw it in science fiction, so I drew my version of science fiction that they said was going to be the thing of the future. Okay, now this little thing here was like a handheld microphone and speaker receiver. You could wear on your wrist, and if you're anywhere in the laboratory, you could talk in it, and still your computer could pick up the signal. So in other words, you could work directly from here. Or you could be talking to the computer, say, I want you to do this, mix these chemicals and that chemical, and you could do this, and the computer would do it. Okay, and here's a punch card here that you put in the punch card thing. Here's a tape, because see, back then they used tapes to record on instead of hard drive and things. It had tape recorders, and and punch cards for the thing to use. Now Let's see. Okay. But I can't explain every button because every button has a different feature, but that will take too much longer. But basically, you understand what I'm saying. So let's try the next one. All right. Now, this was one thing I got from when I was watching something called the $6 Million Man. This is a cyborg man. In other words, he's just half man, half machine. But he's a spaceman. Like when in our space, he's got augmented systems so that he can function on a harsh environment. You know, his spacesuit, his helmet, and everything. And he can do all things that a normal man couldn't do. But he's super strong, capable of enduring great heat and great endurance. So that all the system he has enhances him. All right.